for surely I'm participating. I know they hating, but I still give them motivation. That's real shit. It's easy being a real nigga. Pay my dues on my mama, I'ma die a real nigga. And I came from the bottom, then rose like Derek. Rest in peace, the pie, swear I feel your spirit. Still out here grinding, still out here shining. Like the original Lil Wayne, bro, we still out here squatting, yeah. Macking and mobbing, I'm stacking my dollars. I don't want your baby mama.
What's up? What's up? What's poppin'? Hey, it's Snake Dog 916 coming at you live from Sacramento. Hey, y'all already know what it is, man. We're not even gonna get into the whole intro. Hit that like, that subscribe, and that notification bell. But we back. We back with another session with Sandman, man. What's poppin', man? Good morning, Sandman.
Hey, first off, salute. It's glad to be back.
Hey, you guys already know how we rock. You know, we've just been doing other stuff. We was letting the session sit on the back burner for a little while we let some other stuff cook. But now we're going to bring this back up and see what it's about. We're going to see what it do. Now that the subs are up a little bit more, let's see what you guys think about the chop-up sessions that we be having. So first of all, I want to send mine to Wildcat. Thanks for coming on to the show. Shout out to New York. Shout out to the East Coast. It's good to see people from the East Coast wanting to link in with people from the West. You know what I mean? And get this message out here and get this positive message out here. Anything else is insignificant in my book. And also, once again, shout out to Big Hurt. As always, you guys always know I'm always sending shouts out to Big Hurt. Other than that, man, anybody else, man, keep grinding, man. Keep grinding. Hey, so today, man, what we getting into, man? What we gonna kick it off talking about, man?
I was thinking about Crips and Bloods.
Crips and
Bloods, something a little juicy. You know, like their relationships in the state pen. I know they are supposed to put their differences aside, but no one ever has really gone into, you know, how they communicate. I mean, is there a special way?
Okay, well.
Any animosity that is still there from the streets, like how is that, you know?
Okay, so it's okay. So from my experience, as always, you guys have learned that I only speak from my experience and what I've seen and what I've heard. Excuse me, that's not the coronavirus. So from the way that the up north Sacramento Bloods and Modesto Bloods, Stockton Bloods, you know, up north Bloods and up north Crips deal with each other is like polar opposites compared to how the homies from Los Angeles deal with the LA Crips, right? So the homies from Los Angeles, they will deal with the Crips, but it's more on a always on an edge type basis. Like, yeah, we cool, but you know, it's good. We could pop whenever, you know what I mean? Now, the more of a difference with the north people from up north is we'll pop with each other, don't get it wrong, but it's more like we're not our gang issues are different than down there. Like we all Bloods, we all Crips, that's not different, but it's like most of these Crips, like especially from my neighborhood, we have Crips that are from my neighborhood. You know what I mean? And it's like I grew up with these dudes. Half these dudes know me. I know half these dudes. So it's not like we so quick to pop like that. We're not killing each other like that on the streets. Like I've had more wars with people that weren't Crips than with Crips. You know what I mean? But it's like we deal with them on more of a closer level than the. But I mean, don't get it wrong. When it comes into some gang shit, if it's popping, it's just popping. You know what I mean? It's not you from Sac, so we're not gonna funk with you. Nah, if it's some gang shit, we just gonna pop. Then it is what it is. And you know, it's just that simple. But don't get me wrong, we ball together. It's not like we all black, we funk together if it's a racial issue. You know, all that still goes on. None of that changes. But as far as how we deal with each other, it's limited. But you know, I had a couple homies that was Crips from Sacramento that I really fucked with kind of tough. Shout out to the homie Big Rah from Nogales. Shout out to Little Rah Julius. These people I've known pretty much all my life because they're from my neighborhood. Before it was gang stuff, I knew who these people was. And shout out to E from North Highlands, you know what I mean? And that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? There's some more shout outs out there, but I just wanted to shout out those ones since we on this subject, because those is dudes I was in Pelican Bay with and New Folsom with that I've messed with on a regular basis, like tough. So, but basically it's just like, it's not a lot of blood and Crip incidents like that, but it does happen. You know what I mean? It does happen. It's like, that's like saying it ain't gonna be no Bay Area blood incidents. It happens, but not as much as there'd be some racial stuff. Most big incidents are surrounded by racial issues, because it's like, if you a Crip and I'm a blood, really we can get down. We can get down. If you mad and I'm mad, we can just get down. And it's not politics. It's not necessary. I mean, there are politics in it, depending on who we are, each person are in our car. But we could get down and it'll be like, it could just be squashed as a fight. You know what I mean? Because I got into it with Crips. I got into it with Bay Area cats. And like Bay Area cats that had cars behind them. And it ended as where it was. You know what I mean? Nobody tried to push it to go bigger. Like, let's go take off on the whole car, or none of that. It can be. Now, I was in an institution where some youngsters decided, 4 or 5 youngsters decided to take off on one person of another side, and that of course sparked a little riot. You know what I mean? Of course, because y'all was jumping him. But if it probably would have been a head up, it probably wouldn't have happened like that. But a lot of times these days, cats ain't trying to give head ups. Cats ain't trying to get fames because they don't want to get beat up. You know what I mean? And that's on all sides. A lot of people don't want to fight no more these generations because cats don't want to get beat up, man. And it's less people teaching their youngsters how to fight and how to protect themselves. You know, aside from the gang stuff, man, my kids, my sons, man, I'm making sure they know how to protect themselves, if nothing else. You know what I mean? Not necessarily go out and bully people and fight people and start stuff, but know how to protect yourself. If somebody run up on you, know how to do what you got to do to get out of the situation. You know what I mean? And never run. Never run.
Yeah.
Just defend yourself and deal with the consequences, man. Stand there and own up to whatever happened, you know? Because why run? Don't nobody want to live running.
No. Looking over your shoulder is no way to live, you know?
Like Tupac said, I'd rather die like a man than live like a coward.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, and that rolls over to some other stuff we've talked about before too. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'd rather die like a man than live like a coward, man. I'm cool. And you know, hey, my mentality is just my mentality. I'm not shooting no subliminals at nobody, nothing. I'm just talking about me and how I feel, and obviously how Tupac felt because he put it in his song. So,
and I don't mean to cut you off, but
yeah, you're good.
When you say they grew up in your neighborhood, so I remember you telling me there's like a little pocket in your neighborhood of Crips or something.
Well, it's technically in my neighborhood. It's technically I'm from Del Paso Heights, California, so everybody knows, right? It's not a city, but it's a city inside of a city, right? We say Del Paso Heights. Yeah. It's an urban area, you know what I mean? It started out back in the days as housing for the military base, for an Air Force base right next door to it. So the area of my neighborhood, it started out as just where the people who were stationed at that Air Force base lived at. You know what I mean? But of course, through generations, it spread out and it ended up being a lower income neighborhood. But there's one street specifically known in my neighborhood for being Crips, and that's called Nogales. Nogales Street, not Norgales. There's no R. It's just Nogales, like the state or city in Mexico, Nogales, Mexico. It's called Nogales. Yes, I mean a lot of you got a couple streets in my like even my neighborhood Del Paso. It's Spanish. It's a Spanish name. The Heights of Del Paso. The Heights. I think it's the Heights of the Pass. I think that's what it means.
Yeah, because it's going up, you know, on the mountains, foothills at least.
Right. So, and then Nogales. And the cold thing is, they had it. I ain't gonna lie. They had. If you was from Nogales, you got to get. I mean, and not even. I mean, to give shots out. That's why I gave shout out to Big Rod, man. Because to be a Crip from that generation, you had to be you had to be about your shit. You know what I mean? Because it's like a Crip street, not a Crip neighborhood, a Crip street surrounded inside of a blood neighborhood.
Not even a pocket, just a.
And don't get me wrong. Back before me, maybe 2 generations before me, my neighborhood was Crips.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, they were Crips generations before me.
How did that flip?
I don't even know. I have to do my research on that. I honestly, I couldn't even tell you honestly right now. I won't want to lie, but I do know the history part that it did used to be all the OGs used to be Crips, you know. And then the homies started. They were calling themselves Heights Hogs, right? They flipped from being Crips to being Hogs, just to separate themselves. And then the Heights Hog homies is the ones that started claiming blood. You know?
Oh, okay.
So, you know, the Hogs. If you see somebody that say they a Heights Hog and they not older than me, they lying. Okay. You're not an actual Heights Hog. You might be a hog in your life, but you're not an actual Heights Hog.
Yeah.
You know? Just like the Oak Park back in the days, they had the Funk Lords. You know what I mean? That the original gang. One of the original gangs was the Funk Lords, and the Funk Lords and the Heights Hogs was like 2 of the original gangs in Sacramento.
Are there any original gangs left in Sacramento?
Nobody claims none of the original gangs anymore. No.
Okay.
And just like people from the far south, they like Guardland. They used to be Meadowview, all that. They used to be Guerrilla Gardens. You know what I mean? That's the Gorillas was out there. You know what I mean? But that none of those. You might hear people say it these days, but it's not really. People ain't
recognized
really,
or
not because it was more about. There was more hustling, and it wasn't more back in those days. It wasn't really
banging.
It was really more about protecting the areas and their neighborhoods from anybody who was trying to come in and oppress or trip or anything else. It was more about protecting your area than anything else. So all that's to say, I don't really know everything that's happened in the history of my city, but that's more of the reason why I want to try to find a lot of the OGs that are still around, whether of course they're not banging anymore because like I was saying before I got cut off, that back then it was, like I said, it was more about getting money and looking fly and having a nice car and just taking care of your neighborhood. You know, a lot of times back then they would brawl. You know what I mean? If it was a problem, we could just brawl. Nobody was dying. Maybe somebody would get cut. You know what I mean? Maybe. You know what I mean? But
or like hitting the head with something.
Yeah, you might get busted up, but you live to fight another day, and that's the difference. No, it really wasn't no gunplay. Like if somebody pulled out a pistol, it was like big back then. And this is and mind you, this is only from stories. And I caught the ass end of it as a youngster. So I was part of the generation. We had to get out there and fight. But like when I really started getting out there, we was pistoliers too. I mean, we fight, but we had pistols too. But we were like the middle ground where now it's just basically all pistols. Yeah. And then it was all fighting. I was that middle ground. I came up in that middle ground where it was both. You know what I mean? We could fight, but you know, if y'all act like y'all gonna jump me, I'm gonna shoot the shit out y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we gonna.
Since back then, a gun was basically like a huge deterrent. You'd call it a nuclear deterrent because a lot of people wouldn't be willing to use it. When you came up, it was half and half. Would you prefer it all fighting or some sort of gunplay? Like
now,
it was still like no. Now everyone does it, but if in a perfect world, in a perfect gang world, if you could say that, right?
Yeah.
Would you prefer to have it all brawling? With maybe a couple melee weapons, maybe like a, at the worst, maybe a pipe, something, not real heavy, just
Well, yeah, I would prefer that. If it, like you said, perfect world right now, if all the gangs in the world had to do by what I say right now, I say everybody just get down. Let's just get down. Like, you know what I mean? That way, I look at it like this. That way, nobody got to die, but you going to know not to fuck with us. You know what I mean? Like, so if your clique is over here and y'all known as the best fighters, motherfuckers know not to fuck with y'all because y'all will beat their ass. You know? And if y'all want that title, go fight for the title. But when you take guns out of the equation, it's like, at least you'll still be able to fight. You know what I mean? And kids, you know what I mean, will get to grow out of it if that's what they choose to do. You know what I mean? You don't have to die as a 13, 14-year-old and be dead and your life's over because you got shot in the face.
Yeah, and I an accumulative number of ass whoopings tends to change people's minds after a while.
Absolutely.
You know,
because if you get your
when
ass
they get
whooped
older,
many times, you're gonna realize you can't fight and either give it up or learn how to fight. One or the other. You're only gonna go one of two ways.
And
you're
most
gonna
people are
learn how
gonna
to
give
fight.
it up.
Yeah, most of the time, yeah. Well, I ain't gonna lie. I got my ass whooped a bunch of times when I was young, and all that did is made me want to learn how to fight better.
But you're not most people. That's the difference.
Yeah, I'll be the first to admit I had my ass scraped a couple times. But most of the times I got scraped, no bullshit, it was people older than me. It was never really people of my age group that was scraping me. So it's kind of my fault starting shit with people older than me, you know. And I actually have a interview coming up soon with an older cat from my neighborhood who was there one time when I actually got scraped, but I wouldn't give up.
Oh shit! Well, you wouldn't give up. That's what matters.
No. I didn't give up. I kept going at him. I didn't run. Of course not. I never ran. I've never run in my life. I'll take an ass whooping before I run. And that's not acting like tough. I take an ass whooping. That can heal. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna run nobody. Come on, man. What you gonna do? Beat me up?
There's a difference between an ass whooping too with people and getting beat the fuck down. Like,
oh no, I got my ass whooped, but I got my ass whooped. But the next day, you couldn't even tell I got a fight. You know what I mean? It wasn't no. I didn't get mauled, shit like that. You know. And like in my defense, if there is any defense, it's a little story. I can give you a little story real quick while we own this. So it was me, my homeboy Alex, and my homeboy Kenny, right? The same white boy Kenny that I end up doing my first case for.
Oh, okay.
So him.
That guy's...
Yeah, so he was there. So obviously I fucked with him again after I came home, right? You know what I mean? So, it doesn't matter. I'd fuck with him again to this day because back then he didn't know he was telling when he told his mom. You know what I mean? He didn't tell the police. But
he just told his mom.
Yeah, his mom's the one who called the police. But he shout out to Kenny. You know who you are. I'm not gonna say your last name. I haven't seen him since we was kids though. But it's Kenny, Alex, my Native American homeboy, and me. Funny how I keep an Alex around, huh?
Yeah,
So then and then it was my homeboy Ant, who you guys will meet, Ant Dog. I'll be doing an interview with him. Then my homeboy Ben from my neighborhood, and then the homie Rich was there. So Rich, Ben, Rich, Ben, and Ant were all older homies. They were older homies from the hood. And Cass wasn't gang banging. We was just from the hood. You know what I mean? We was all just from the Heights. You know what I mean? So we just Heights cats. I mean, I at that age, I don't even know if Ant and them were gang members. I think Ant might have been a Crip, actually. I'll find out when we do the interview. But we was young. We was like, these the homies. I was like 14. These the homies. You know, the older homies. So we chilling. We drinking 40 ounces and shit. Nasty ass old English, right? Chilling. And Ben, who's the older Mexican homie, and Ant Dog, they start tussling just on some, testing hand shit, right? So they both chunky, stocky dudes. So they tussling. Boo, 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 boo. And we three youngsters, we just chilling, right? Watching, laughing and shit, right? Because Ben and Ant always end up getting into it. Like, hella time they end up getting into fights. Like, in hella different parts of the hood, we'd all be hanging out and them two end up fighting each other. So we chilling. Now, Rich is getting sparked, right? Because he don't got nobody to fight, right? He's a smaller homie. He's older than us, but he's smaller. Mm-hmm. But I think he was fresh out of prison or YA at this time, too. I think he was like 19 or 20. I'm like 14, 15. So he look at the homie Ken, right? And he like, what's up, man? Let's run that, right? And Ken was kind of spooked. Like, nah, I'm cool. But they wasn't really fighters, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he look at Alex like, what's up? You want to fight? And Alex like, nah. And I'm sitting back, right? So he don't even look at me. He don't say nothing to me, right? And not because I was like badass or nothing, because I wasn't, but they knew who I was. They knew I was the homie, and they had uncles and cousins, and I was a Heights nigga for sure. And bona fide, like 5 generations back, you know what I mean? And so I'm sitting there, and then he talking shit to my youngsters, my niggas that's with me. He's like, oh, y'all scary, man. Y'all whoa. So I'm like, hey man, you gotta chill with all that, bro. Why you messing with them? He like, why? What you gonna do? I was like, I sat my phone. I'll fight you. I ain't tripping. And I hopped up and I swung on him. That's all I remember.
Damn.
So I swing on him. I don't remember if I caught him or not. It's been so long. I might have caught him. I might not have caught him. I don't know. Ant probably remember better than me when we talked to Ant. I know I swung on him, and I know, bruh whooped me. But the story I got from the older homies and from Rich, from the same Rich and all that, is that I kept going at him. He light me up. I drop, get up, and go right back at him. And I don't really remember how it all happened, but I know they stopped me, not him. They like, man, nah, Nate, man, kick back. So for somebody to say they never had their ass whooped, like, I had my ass whooped.
It happened to me. I got knocked out.
I ain't never been knocked out, but I've been fucked up. But the good thing is I never been all ooh-weed up though.
The most I ever had was like right here, a little swollen.
I got jumped by like 6 dudes, man, walking home with Ken and Alex. I was with them. They ran. No, they didn't run. They were around the corner trying to steal a car. And I was waiting for them. I was waiting for them to come back. And some cats pulled up on me and got on me, talking about where you from. And it started out as one car. One dude jumped out a little mini truck, right? Like, where you from, man? I looked at him, right? I had some white Levi's on. I always remember I had a red flag hanging out the back of the white Levi's. So you could tell what the fuck. Well, come on, man.
Yeah.
And I'm in the Heights.
Yeah.
So, me sarcastic. I'm like 15, about in the same area, 15, 16-ish. I look at him like, man, where you at? He like, what? I said, you asked him where I'm from. Nigga, where you at? Yo, this Crip. What? And I get off on him, right? As soon as I get off on him, I see the back of the mini truck open up. So I'm fighting with this dude, and I start seeing people get out. I'm like, shit. And there's no way for me to go because I'm like stuck in the back of a corner of an alley, but the alley like an RP place. Yeah. So there's nowhere for me to go. So
you just one way in, one way out.
So they just came, they did their shit. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie. Once they got on me, I balled up. You know what I mean? Try to protect. I got low and try to protect. And they did their stuff. Jumped back in the truck, left. I walked on. I had a bloody nose. That was the worst of it. That was the worst they did because I just protected my face, and I had some sore ribs and stuff where they tried.
I was. Go ahead. Finish what was wrong with you.
I had a bloody nose, maybe some sore ribs or something where they tried to kick me. But I'm even at that age, I knew how to protect the places that needed to be protected. Mm-hmm. And I'm watching everybody, even though there's like 5 of them. I'm still watching everybody's movements. And I made it out of it. I walked home still after that. Had blood dripping down my face. I was mad at them 2 dudes because I was like, where the fuck y'all was at? Y'all didn't hear this shit? Y'all was only a block away. Y'all should have been there to help me. And, bro, we didn't know.
Could they see you back into that alley?
No, it's not their fault. I was just mad because I got beat up. Mad because I got beat up.
I know I've seen these comments a lot, and what triggered this was when you said you only had a bloody nose and you got jumped by 5, 6 dudes.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have seen this in the comments, like on video. There's like videos, I know Dirt, the homie Dirt, Dirty Weather 916, check him out. He posted a video on his channel of he posted, this is what his caption said, these are Sat cats dealing with a thief, and they jumped him and knocked him out. He was on the ground cold. And then you reading comments on jumping, it's like, oh, they don't know what they're doing. He's still on their feet. He's still on his feet. He's not out cold. Like, okay, so what would constitute as a solid, good jumping? Like,
I mean, if you got jumped, right? Mm-hmm. Period. So as a kid, as kids, teenagers, 15, 16 years old, if we jump you, we just beating you up. That's all we doing. We beating you up. We don't have the wherewithal, the mindset, all that to be 4 people on 1 person strategic about it. We're just hitting wherever we hit you at. Let's be honest. So whatever happened, you got jumped. However, we're not thinking about how it turns out if you're knocked out or what. Now, me at this age, me and 2 of my homeboys. We don't even need 4 or 5. Me and 1 of my homeboys Shit, if me and two of my homeboys jump somebody, they go into the hospital. It's different than how it would have happened as kids, because one, we know where to hit to hurt or know how to hit to hurt. There, we're just hitting to beat up. There's a difference. And when people say, "Oh, well, if he's still standing, y'all didn't do it right," well, it's different. It's levels to this shit. You know what I mean?
Like
Motherfuckers ain't like. I mean, like. Dex. He sent me the new song.
Okay, cool. We'll put it in this one.
So to back then jumping somebody, yeah. If we jumped you back then, you got your ass whooped. Let's be honest, you got your ass. You'll be Louis. You probably be ooh-weed up. Woo. And I'll say that those dudes that jumped me that night, they didn't know what they was doing. They didn't know what they was doing because it was dark. They was probably just hit. Let's go. You know what I mean? Before some other, because they were in my neighborhood, before some other Heights niggas find out and get over there.
Yeah, they're already not supposed to be there.
Yeah, so, yeah, if it was me and five of my homeboys, we probably would have did one person better than I did, honestly. But, yeah, if you jump somebody, they really shouldn't be getting up and walking away. It should be a while before they can walk. Not necessarily, they should at least be knocked out, or at least be so fucked up that they can't focus yet. They have to sit for a minute. I was able to get right up after they... Yeah, I was able to get right up. I was able to get right up after they left. Like, I wasn't dizzy, none of that. I remember every fucking hit, kick, everything.
Damn.
They never even
had you basically could see everything coming at you.
Oh, yeah. I just protected.
You had your back against that wall, huh?
I had my back against a fence, yeah. I had my back in the corner of a fence, so they really couldn't get in on me how they wanted to. But, you know, if you really get jumped, constituting getting jumped, anything can be getting jumped, but it's how you come out of it. Usually, you're gonna come out of it fucked up. You know, I got lucky. You know what I mean? So it's whatever. Just like when I was in Corcoran Shoe and niggas jumped on me, I got lucky because the gunner started shooting. So
shit. Yeah.
But I had some ooies then too. I ain't had no black eye or nothing, but I had some like little swollen cheek marks and you know what I mean. I was sore where people hit me in the back of the shoulders and fucking right under here from protecting, and they see this open and hit there.
These are the worst. These are
because
I'm the worst, man.
I just protect here. You know what I mean? I just want to protect my face and you know, hopefully you don't break nothing so I can still look pretty. You know what I mean? But you know, it is what it is. I don't want to really dwell on violence, but that shit happens how it happens. You know what I mean? But as far as Bloods and Crips, the loyalty is different. Okay.